In that moment, as the sun climbed over the horizon, any wall seemed vague and ghostly. "It's the barrier," he replied softly, but she heard every word. The barrier between the realms. It's gone. Evaporated. He could feel her blink, as if those long, dark lashes of hers touched his cheek. Suddenly, he learned something that he'd never considered before. For a brief moment, that fresh knowledge erased even his sense of magical cataclysm. "The Immortals, they'll be on us like a ton of bricks," she said, her voice matter of fact. "I'd best get up." Chapter 1. Skinners. The Stormwing sat on a low wooden perch like a king on his throne. All around him torches flickered. Men spoke quietly as they prepared the evening meal. He was a creature of bad dreams, a giant bird with the head and chest of a man. As he moved, his steel feathers and claws clicked softly. For one of his kind, he was unusually clean. His reddish-brown hair had once been dressed in thin braids, but many had unravelled. His face, with its firm mouth and large amber eyes, had once been attractive, but hate deepened the lines at mouth and eyes. Dangling around his neck was a twisted, glassy lump of rock that shimmered in the torchlight. Now he stared intently at a puddle of darkness on the ground before him. An image grew in the inky depths. In it, a tall, swarthy man turned the reins of his black and white spotted gelding over to a young ostler. Beside him, a girl, a young woman really, lifted saddlebags from the back of a sturdy grey pony. When the ostler reached for her reins, the mare's ears went flat, lips curled away from teeth. "Cloud, leave be," ordered the girl. She spoke Common, the main language of the eastern and southern lands, with only a faint accent, the last trace of her origins in the mountains of Gala. "It's too late for you to be at your tricks." The mare sighed audibly, as if she agreed. The ostler took her reins carefully and led mare and gelding away. Grinning, the girl slung the bags over her shoulder. "She is lovely," thought the Stormwing, who had once been Emperor Ozorne of Carthag. "The boys must swarm around her now, seeing the promise of that soft mouth and ignoring the stubborn chin. Or at least," he amended his own thought, "the ones with the courage to approach a girl so different from the others. Boys who don't mind that she converses with passing animals, not caring that only half the conversation can be heard by two-leggers. Such a brave boy, or man, would try to drown himself in those blue-grey eyes with their extravagant eyelashes." Ozorne the Stormwing smiled. It was a pity that, unlike most girls of 16, she would not make a charm this midsummer's day to attract her true love. On the holiday, 2 days hence, she and her lanky companion would be dead. There would be no lovers, no future husband for Daine Sarasri, just as there would be no more arcane discoveries for Numair Salmaline, Ozorne's one-time friend. "I want the box," he said, never looking away from the dark pool. 2 new arrivals entered the image in the pool. One was an immortal, a basilisk. Over 7 feet tall, thin and fragile-looking, he resembled a giant lizard who had decided to walk on his hind legs. His eyes were calm and grey, set in a beaded skin the colour of a thundercloud. In one paw he bore his long tail as a lady might carry the train to her gown. The other newcomer rode in a pouch made of a fold of skin on the basilisk's stomach. Alert, she surveyed everything around her, fascination in her large eyes with their slit pupils. A young dragon. She was small, only 2 feet long, with an extra 12 inches of tail, and bore little resemblance to the adults of her kind. They reached 20 feet in length by mid-adolescence, after their 10th century of life. "Numair! Daine! Takar and Kitten, welcome!" A tall, black-haired man with a close-cropped beard, wearing blue linen and white silk, approached the new arrivals, holding out a hand. The swarthy man gripped it in his own with a smile. As the young dragon chirped a greeting, the basilisk and the girl bowed. Jonathan of Conte, king of Tortall, put an arm around mage and girl and led them away, saying, "Can you help us with these wyverns?" Basilisk and dragon brought up the rear. Something tapped the